Trading ideas for the week of April 11, 2022. With Chairman Powell and the Fed behind the curveball, I thought this was a timely cartoon based on the Seinfeld with the soup Nazi, and I hope some of you are familiar with that. With that in mind, let's dive in, look at what is the upcoming events for the week of April 11th. On Monday, Japan has their inflation, the PPI number. Turkey and Great Britain will come with their unemployment rates. Germany also will have their inflation, and Russia will have their GDP. On Tuesday, Euro and Germany, they have the ZEF economic sentiment index, which is very important on the health of the Eurozone. India will have their inflation number, and then Great Britain will have their PPI numbers. South Korea with unemployment rate. China, this is, I think it's pretty important to see what is the balance of trade. And this is one of the more important numbers for the week is the United States, the consumer price index, the CPI, the inflation number. Saudi Arabia, with the crude oil being the central figure in what's going on, they will have their OPEC monthly report, and New Zealand will have the rate statement. The earnings season is kicking off next week, so please be aware of what's coming up. There's a lot of activity will be happening, and again, this is the beginning of the heavy earnings season. So we'll start with CarMax. It will be interesting again how they're seeing that as far as the sales of cars and where they stand. As far as Wednesday, we got quite a few things going on. We have, this is another very important, is the PPI numbers, inflation numbers in the United States. Australia will have their unemployment rate. And this is another important one. Canada, the Bank of Canada, as well as South Korea will have their interest rate decisions. Spain, Argentina, Saudi Arabia will tell us about the inflation rates. South Africa and Brazil will have the retail sales. And as always, we have at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Coast time, we have the crude oil inventories. Since Friday is a bank holiday, so there is no options activity on Friday. So we will do our gold trade on Wednesday, expiring on Thursday. So all the options for this week will expire April 14th, which is Thursday. Now, these are the biggies. So pay attention because the financials are kicking up, especially the banks. We'll have on Wednesday, it's going to be very heavy activity as far as banking with JP Morgan, BlackRock, and then we'll have the Delta Airlines, Bed Bath & Beyond, and Infosys, which is a Indian software company. They will all give their reports before the open. Now, if you want to play the earnings game, this is a pretty timely one. Thursday, we also have US retail sales. Again, with the talk of the recession, I think it's important to pay attention for these. As far as the euro, this is a biggie. Besides the CPI in the United States, I think you really have to pay attention. It has a lot of consequences from the interest rates to dollar, and also really looking at the health of the economy in Europe. So the European Central Bank and Turkey will come up with their interest rate decisions. Switzerland will have their PPI. China will have their house price index as well as unemployment rates. Indonesia will have their car sales. Now, following up on Wednesday, now on Thursday, we have the Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, Citibank, Morgan Stanley, all in banking sector and financial sector. They're coming up with their earnings. I will pay attention to see the language, to see what they're forecasting as far as where the earnings have come and they will come and what is their forecast, especially with all these interest rate increases, and also the chance of if they foresee any chance of recession. Rite Aid and Ericsson, and Swedish telephone company, they will also have their earnings before the open. Now, Friday in most of the Western countries, I would say Christian countries, it is a bank holiday. Most of Europe, United States, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, all the markets are open, but that doesn't mean we won't have economic information. And the main ones in France, we have the CPI, and Italy will have the inflation. Now, we started a few weeks ago. I thought I'd like to share just a screen of the week to give you an idea for the weekend, for the week upcoming week. So these are no recommendations. These are just really starting points. I just share some of the things that I do and I look at. This is from Finviz. So what I was looking at, again, some of the earnings coming up, I was looking at some of the companies that they're not very much liked, and they do have, for instance, they do have, they're optionable, by the way. They have a very high short float, so they are being shorted, as well as not many analysts like them. So the rating is hold or below. And the reason I like these things is once things turn around, there is room for improvement. For instance, the analysts, a lot of them, if they have a sell or a hold on these, there's a lot of room to improve, and they can come up with perhaps buy or strong buy. When you have a lot of analysts following and giving the strong buy or buy, they already own it. So, I mean, how much higher could it get? So if you look for, in this case, we're looking for the weakness, for improvement. And again, there's a hard short float. But also what I had added thing is I want to see there's insider activity on the buy side, positive insider activity. So again, these are pretty liquid stocks, and interesting things, we came with the 4 of them. We have the Bed Bath & Beyond, Nordstrom, Rite Aid, and Rocket Companies in the mortgage businesses. And you can see their PE ratio. So I went a little step further. These are their charts. So you can be, judge of that. And you can, again, these are just a starting point. Now, one of the interesting things there that we actually have Bed Bath & Beyond and Rite Aid coming with their earnings this week. So you don't have to play ahead of it, but after facts, that might be some opportunities for you to follow up. So again, these are the ideas. There's no recommendations, but I think there might be some opportunities here. As far as the stock of the week, again, this is not a recommendation. I'm just sharing some of the things that I see, and look at some of the seasonalities. And one of the things I found out, which was really interesting, it was a seasonal chart of 1-800-Flowers.com. With the Easter coming up, it looks like seasonality-wise, April is their strongest month. This is for the past 15 years. And as you can see, that is the best month. And when we look at the monthly returns, by far, April is a good month. So with the April 11th coming up, again, it's a food for thought. Also, we were just looking at basically on the weekdays, you see Tuesdays are pretty strong days for flowers, 1-800-Flowers. Just a little more, you see how the chart is. Not a very good chart. It's been pretty beaten up. We are down 44% year to date. But looks like we have been basing. So let's see what's going to happen in upcoming weeks. Especially, they will have earnings coming up in April 27th. So sometime around that time. So basically, this is just, again, an idea, maybe a short-term opportunity. So I just want to share that with you. With that in mind, thank you very much for your attention. Have a wonderful week ahead till we meet again next weekend. Bye for now.